Good evening. I cannot tell you how many times I have been recording this, trying to get this right for you guys. So I think I'm just going to read what I have. I have been using the Through the Word app. Chris Langham is the founder, and he reads most of the studies and our devotions. And right now I'm in Romans 14. And excuse me if I stutter through, because some of my notes, when I write, I skip words. So I'm going to do the best I can. So here we go. Romans 14. And Chris Langham titled this, Christians for the Love of God, whatever. He says in Romans 14 verse 1, Paul states that we are to accept the one whose faith is weak without quarreling over disputable matters. And what is weak faith? Those who are rule followers. Those who don't eat meat and only eat vegetables, don't hunt Easter eggs or have an Easter bunny or believe in Santa Claus, or will or won't wear makeup or have to have long hair, or men only having short hair, clean shaven, not shaven, or short skirts, long skirts. Those are disputable matters. Why are they disputable matters? Because they're not necessarily written in the Bible as right or wrong. Paul's main issue isn't whether those things are good or bad, but that weak faith believers that believe I have to follow more rules to make sure I'm in, and strong faith believers who know they are secure and that they're saved by grace. But where do you draw the line on what the Bible doesn't tell us, on what is right and wrong? Such as movies, certain movies you go to, music maybe. So Paul calls both of these people out, the strong faith and the weak faith. He says those who judge and those that don't think anything is a big deal. These are the people that he's calling out. He says those with strong faith must not treat those with weak faith with contempt. And the one with weak faith should not judge the one who has strong faith. In verse 4, it says, the question that Chris Langham posed was, who are you to judge? You should both thank God. We all belong to God. This is not a ticket to sin, but it is stating that we should not judge or show contempt towards each other. Verse 12, each of us will give an account to God. And in verse 14, he states nothing is unclean in itself. So music is not necessarily unclean. Meat is not necessarily unclean. Dancing is not necessarily unclean. Those are things. They can't sin on their own. They're not inherently wrong. But if anyone regards something unclean, then it is. The conscience matters. So the kingdom of God is about peace and joy. And when faced with a disputable matter, what should a Christian do? How do you decide what to do? You have to change your criteria. You have to stop making a right and wrong list, because there isn't one. Do what leads to peace and mutual edification. That means building each other up. It's about God's work in each of us. So that's all my notes. All I have to say is there are a lot of churches that have broke up over disputable matters and split. That's why we have so many denominations. This is not a time for that. This is not a time for us to worry about whether a drink of wine at dinner is bad, or whether you should or shouldn't dance, or whether a certain movie is bad for you. This is not the time to do that. This is not the time to show contempt for your fellow man who does something that you don't feel they should do, or to judge those who don't do what you think they should do. This is a time for us to build each other up, come together with love, leave the rest to God. I pray that you guys are reading your word, that you're praying, and that you're staying healthy most of all. If you need me or Kevin, just give us a call or hit us up on one of these social media apps. Talk to you later. Bye.